Hello there, this is Shal, and welcome to another VoxFX PSA. Today's topic, why a MIDI controller is a good idea. So I made 2 entire videos about recording and mixing equipment. I've talked about a whole bunch of different things like speakers, microphones, headphones, DAWs, mic stands, audio interfaces, etc. But for music, there's one more piece of equipment you might want to add to your arsenal, a MIDI controller. Now, MIDI, which stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, it's the musical language of computers. MIDI was created by taking sort of all of the aspects of music, like volume, pitch, stuff like that, and puts them in a form that a computer can understand. So basically, it translates musical information into code. The computer reads the code of MIDI data and then uses that to control electronic musical instruments like a synthesizer or, say, some sort of virtual drum machine or something like that. And now a MIDI controller is a physical device that allows a musician to input MIDI data into the computer. This usually takes the form of sort of like a piano-style keyboard, but it can be pretty much anything. So why do you need a MIDI controller? Well, technically you don't need one. You can enter in MIDI data manually with your mouse. If you've dealt with an audio workstation for any length of time, you've probably dealt with virtual instruments or synthesizers, and you've had to enter in note information using their piano roll tool. I've spoken about this before in one of my videos, and this basically just you click and it creates a note. It creates a MIDI note. So while you technically don't need a MIDI controller, they are definitely a good idea. So let's talk about why that is. Now, most types of music require instruments or vocals. They require a musical performance. And a performance is a very visceral, physical, emotional experience. You're making music with your hands, your feet, your voice, your body, your mind, your heart, your soul. You're playing the music. It's fluid. The musical ideas come effortlessly. You play the musical instrument, like your guitar, you pluck a string, you strum the strings, or you hit a drum, and sound comes out. It's simple. And every sound is tied to a physical action that you do. So like I said, very visceral. But with electronic music, there's a computer in the way. There is no performance necessary. You don't need a body to make music because it's literally just code. You could theoretically create an entire song by writing in a programming language. And because that association between music and physical action is broken, you have to wrangle your software into sounding the way it does in your brain. So what that basically translates to is like, oh, here's my melody. Do 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 do. Okay, so I want to do it like, so I click that note there, and then you have to place the next note, making sure that those first 2 notes are the right length, and then you listen back. Okay, that sounds good. You place the next few notes. Okay, so this sounds okay, but like, oh, this note sounds off. So you tweak it a little bit, and then it's like, oh, this one's too short, and oh, how do I get that timing? And you get the point. Just lots and lots of stuff that you have to think about that gets in the way of the music. So you are making music. You do make music. You produce music, but you don't play music. It just feels less musical because of all of those steps between the physicality and the sound produced, unless you have a MIDI controller. A MIDI controller lets you treat MIDI like an instrument. MIDI is actually a very expressive language. Because it captures pretty much the entirety of what music is, a MIDI controller gives you a lot of expressive control. You are not quantizing precisely every single note that you play unless you set it that way. So it's like it has those sort of little imperfections. The notes are what are known as velocity sensitive, which means that you can hit them light or hard and the note will be a different volume. And so there's some expressive elements there. And all of those little pieces of humanity are brought back into the music because you're playing it like an instrument. And moreover, you get that same instant feedback. You hit the note, the computer responds, and your idea is recorded if you have been performing it while the record button is going. You're basically playing MIDI the same way you would play a piano. Indeed, that's why most MIDI controllers are pianos. It's an obviously musical input device. It communicates all those ideas of piano lessons you might have had as a kid. It's a very familiar musical experience. So now let's talk about what I have. I currently have my main MIDI controller for the past year or so has been my Nectar Impact LX61. It's a 61 key keyboard. It has various knobs and volume faders on it and things like that that you can use to control other parameters in your DAW in addition to just MIDI notes. So that adds an additional physical element to playing in your music. And I also just bought a Launchpad Pro for my birthday. Instead of being a keyboard, it's an 8x8 grid of buttons that gives you a lot of different control over your music. You can play it like an instrument, you can use it to trigger clips, and you can use it to control other parameters in your DAW. It's pretty cool, and it's small enough to fit in a backpack, which is awesome. But yeah, those are my general thoughts about MIDI controllers. I strongly encourage you to investigate them if you do music. They're a great way to add more musicality to your music. So yeah, if you like this, please subscribe, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So next week's video is probably going to be a test drive of my Launchpad Pro. Until then, have fun and keep making sound.